How many of us have given a speech and then listened to the evaluation afterwards, and one either said, "What did they say?" Or yet, worse yet, during the gift, you listen to what they say and they say, "Well, that's really great, but how do I fix it?" Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, something that I've really been diligent about is learning how to give good evaluations for about the last year, and I think maybe it paid off. What I found is a method called the modified sandwich. Now, the sandwich method is where you give a good evaluation, something that you find really good about the speech, something that you think that you might want to work on, and then something good again. And it's the recency primacy feeling. You remember the best thing, which is the first thing, or the best thing, which was the last thing. The problem is you have a tendency to forget what you actually need to work on. And that's the most important part of the evaluation. To me, that's the part that I want to know. How can I get better? And if all I remember is what's good and what's bad, or what's good and what's good, I don't remember how to get better at what I'm doing. The modified sandwich technique is you find something that you like about the speech. Then you find something that might need a little bit of work. Then, and most importantly, you tell them, in your opinion, how would you go about fixing it? About a year ago, after numerous times of being told, you're standing there with your hands behind your back, or in front of yourself, and I never knew what to do with my hands. And I used to give speeches like this. Now, somebody else gave a speech and they had the same exact problem. I don't want to pick on anybody, but it was Sonia. And our Toastmaster for the evening gave one of the best evaluations that I've ever heard, because she not only told her what a great job that Sonia did that evening, and as a gift she says, you have a tendency to hold your hands in front of your body like this, and you can't be very expressive. Here's what I do that helped. Stand here with your arms bent like this. That way you can focus over here, you can gesture over there, and it gives you something to do with your hands. It was one of the best evaluations, and as soon as I read that or heard that, I remembered, wait a minute, I just got done reading about that in the modified sandwich technique. That's how you use it. And I thank our Toastmaster Eileen for giving me that. I did print out some handouts of the modified sandwich technique. It comes from a website called 6minutes.delugan.com, which I happen to have at the top of the page. And if we want, we can take a look at those. And if you'll take one or two per table and pass them back, if you would, please. And at this point in time, what I'd like to do is open it up for a Q&A as far as anything that you would like to know more about in this briefing about the different methods of evaluation.
Question.
Questions and answers.
Okay.
Yes.
How is this? This reminds me of Mary Kay's. Mary Kay, the cosmetic guru. You know, she used to use this sandwich method. Is it something like that? If you have to confront somebody sickly.
One of the things that they always said in management school, when I got my MBA, one of the management techniques was just what you're talking about, the sandwich technique. If you've got to reprimand an employee, you say something great about them, you say something that they need to work on, or something that you don't like, something that you would like them to improve on, and then you always give them another nice thing, so that they walk out of there walk in there feeling good, and they walk out feeling good. And one of the things that happens is that you're typically having to call that person in. So the sandwich techniques works for certain employees, but if you really want somebody to improve and get better, sometimes you just gotta, what has worked in your life? You're in management, you've been there for longer than they have, so you might want to say, it may not work for you, but this is what I did. And which is more important than the something good, something bad, something good. I'd rather have something that a way that I can fix my problem than I would another something good. And so that's what this modified sandwich technique says. Yes, Mark?
I think this is very good, and one of the things that is helpful in this is that if you follow either one of these approaches, is you now have a framework to think about. Because sometimes what I think happens is we get up there, and I heard this one time when someone was giving was teaching about evaluation, and they'd say that sometimes the evaluator hijacks the evaluation, meaning they get up there and they talk about themselves and they don't evaluate the speaker. Well, that defeats the whole purpose. So when you have a framework like this, you now have something to think about and follow as an evaluator.
But yes, exactly. And one of the other methods that a lot of times people will use as an evaluation is a regurgitation of the speech, which doesn't do any good either. I mean, I just listened to the speech. I don't need to hear it again. And that follows along with the same thing of what you're saying, is that it's just saying it from a different viewpoint. Any other questions? Madam Toastmaster.
Bob is very diligent in representing our club in the evaluation contest, obviously, by the preparation he's given for this speech. If you could all take a few moments and write some